first opened the doors to Grown 10 years ago, I honestly thought we were just reinventing fast food. But what I didn't realize is this was never just about the food. We were also building community. My name is Shannon Allen, and you're watching Grown Woman Season 2. So Dr. John, this family's been handed the worst news they've ever heard in their life. They're living in the worst moment that any parent can ever go through. How do you move? How do you put one foot in front of the other?
So I think,
I know this is a hard question.
yeah, so, it's funny to hear you talk about your son. He reminds me a lot of my brother. My brother passed away 10 years ago, and it's the same thing that Sutton called, right? A D1 athlete who was just like driven, right? He was the one person in life that taught me you can have a goal and work towards that goal. And it's the same thing that sudden phone call that is the worst day of your life, and the weird thing that you feel on the inside, the people that haven't gone through this go through, where you secretly hope that the worst day of your life will stay the worst day of your life, because you never want any other day to, take first place. I think it's something that is difficult is that when you go through that kind of grief, people that are on the outside that haven't gone through it, the first question that they ask is, how do you move on? How do you go forward? As if being numb is wrong. And if you're numb for a prolonged time, that's wrong. That's paralysis. Being numb for the short term is protective. It is if you're getting a root canal, you need to be numb because the pain will just bear. And so I think what I just want to hear from y'all is that there's so often that I do think y'all have shown such strength in what it is that y'all have done. Y'all have metabolized your grief in a way that it's like on your sleeves. And I think I'm interested to hear a bit more of the journey for people that may be so fresh in it that they just don't feel the permission to be there. How long did it take you to see 10 o'clock a.m. or p.m. on a clock and not have a physical reaction?
It still does.
Still? Right.
Yeah. I try to be in place somewhere at 10:17.
Right. It's Shannon, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they think that grief is some journey that has some end in mind. And I think when you talk about it like that, you give people the only thing that's worse than real pain. That's false hope.
Yeah.
That the goal is not just getting past, right? 1017 lives in your body in a way that you don't need a clock. Right. And when that time comes,
Just shut down.
Yeah. What do you do? How do you, what are things that you make sure are in place when that time comes?
Your family in general has now taken a new turn. There's a new foundation that has grown from this.
Yes.
That is keeping Deshaun's name and his legacy and his art and his impact alive and thriving.
Yes.
And parallel to that, you also have this court case, this continuation of searching for justice.
Yes.
And I don't know how much of if that's something you even care to talk about, whatever you feel comfortable with. I know that just yesterday, Forbes magazine came out with a special edition,
Yes.
30 for 30, victims of gun violence. Deshaun is named as one of those.
Absolutely.
This will not be in vain.
Mm.
And I know that just from the strength and the presence. This will not be in vain. And which of those things, all of those things, it's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. What do you want people who remember hearing about the UVA shooting, who remember hearing the story of Deshaun's heroism, who fell in love with Deshaun's art, or who may have known him as an athlete, even though that's not how he defined himself at all.
Mm-hmm.
What of his legacy and the foundation are you hoping to be able to continue to build in his honor?
So my mission for the foundation is to create a safe space for our future. Deshaun loved kids. And even my neighbor, he would get all the kids down the street and just go to the basketball court, teach them how to play basketball or swim or run track that was his thing. So in his honor and to continue his legacy, we now have children that don't play on the park. So we need to get these kids back outside and create a safe space where they feel comfortable. And that's my end goal, my mission.
Wonderful.
I think the goal for him anyway, but he knew what he wanted. He knew that he would do anything to get to his goal, in a positive manner. That once he made it, and he always writes that, if I made it, you're going to benefit from it. So it piggybacks off what we're trying to accomplish. The foundation has been great. It's something that I know he wanted to do when he came home anyway. So that was his mission and that was his goal. So why not continue to pursue that dream with open arms, So that's our mission for the kids, for the community. And I know he's happy, he's smiling, and you can kind of get those.
Every time we do something,
It's something.
We find like another one of his little nuggets, one of his little love notes that he left for us. So I know he's happy.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's what really keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Definitely.
Yeah. I personally just want to share with y'all. I think the work that y'all are involved in right now is beautiful, not just for the ways that it'll impact the lives that y'all hope to share, but even being this public and upfront about your grief and your loss. I believe that y'all are providing a different paradigm to help people heal, in that I do think we live in a world where people think that sorry for your loss is the thing to say. But all that does is it ends the conversation. It talks about the loss. It reduces our loved ones to lost ones. But when people say, would you tell me a story about your love? And I think the way that y'all have just told stories, the way that this has shared, the way that art is designed and created to share stories, and just the providential way that yeah, God bless you, not just with a football player, but a artist. Y'all have ample stories for a lifetime. And yeah, I encourage y'all to keep on sharing those stories of love.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anything about this experience? I don't even want to call it an experience. This part of your journey of loving your son. And I know you were trying to get to the governor today, because we're living in a time where this is becoming our norm.
Yeah.
This is the new cancer. That's what they're saying.
Mm.
Yeah.
This epidemic is the new cancer. Everybody's gonna feel it. Everybody. And until it knocks on your door, then you're gonna sleep on it. But when you get that knock, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks.
Tell me what a high conflict divorce is for people that are sitting at home watching, saying, I've never heard that term before.
So a high conflict divorce is where there is a lot of arguing and intense emotions, particularly in front of the children. And there is something called ACEs, adverse childhood experiences.
That's a trauma.
That is a trauma. What leads to the trauma is the intensity and the duration of the conflict, right? And like I said, behaviors are not only taught, they're caught. And the children are constantly watching. And if there is a lot of arguing and lack of communication, right? Because not speaking is also a negative form of communication, right? And if there's
It's
such
abuse.
well, yes, we use that term.
Avoidance.
Yes.
You know, shutting down emotionally. If you are
Yes.
sitting at a dinner table and you're watching your mom say, hey, can I remove your plate for you? Or what is your plan tomorrow? And no one responds. The kids are like, did you not hear her?
Yes,
right?
right,
Because what do you tell your kids? Answer your father. Your father asked you a question. So I could see that would be emotionally unsettling for a child to be in that situation, and the communication stops. So that's ACEs.
That's one of the ACEs, but
Okay.
it's the primary ACEs. And I will tell you this, that there are, that's ACEs, but there are PCE, positive childhood experiences, right? What I want everyone to understand is that if you were a high conflict couple and you divorce, children are resilient.
Yeah.
Right? And they can move through big T and small t traumas, okay? And the positive childhood experiences, you can add to them if you make the conscious effort that you're going to be child focused, not me focused, not ego focused, child focused.
So as you know, my company is growing. The sales are fantastic, but I am not a manufacturer. So it's not how you sell, it's how you buy.
Okay.
Okay?
Teach us.
It's
Teach
not how
us
you
some
sell,
things.
it's how you buy. So obviously my margins were not great, my sales were great, and I needed to find a strategic partner who knew how to be a manufacturer and me keep doing my side.
Yep. And your side was the designing, the marketing, the branding, reaching out to
Everything,
celebrity
yeah.
clients.
Just not making it. I don't want to make it. I want to design it, approve it, and the whole bit. So I get a partner who was given to me by someone who was benefiting from the transaction.
Okay.
I find out later. And I really made a deal with the devil. When you, and I say this about when you hire people, when you align yourself with people, I mean, I'd rather hire personality and teach than hire the trait and not have the personal side. So I went through, and that's the time that the malls were slowing down. Everything was
Retail was
shifting.
dying.
I made a decision to close every store when the lease was up. My mother's like, but why are you doing that? I said, the malls are not the same.
How many retail stores did you have at that point?
9,
20?
and we were in 2,000 boutiques all over the world.
Okay.
And you just saw the slow retail space, right? And so I said, every time my lease is up, I'm going to close, which God was watching over me.
Yeah.
So my mother said, but why are you doing it? I said, Mom, it's not the same. Meanwhile, I have this horrible partner who's delivering to Neiman Marcus and TJ Maxx at the same time, because he was one of those people that is all about the off-brand.
Okay. Was
He
there
was
more
gonna-
money in off
He
branding?
was gonna, it's all about volume and discount.
Okay.
And you
Volume
can't-
business.
You can't do that. Anyway, long story short, I don't know if this happened. Okay, you come into my life.
Mm-hmm.
You say to me, I want you to meet someone. I said, okay.
And I knew you'd been having some struggles.
Oh, yeah.
And that you were closing.
I was worried.
But I didn't know how bad it was.
I was worried. I was still okay, but I was on my way to not being okay.
Right.
All right. Everything was changing,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to change with the times. And then I have this horrible person who was not paying people. I mean, so many things were happening. My daughter quit on him. She goes, I'm not quitting you, I'm quitting him.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
when you know it's bad.
Shannon calls me and says to me, I want you to meet somebody. So somebody that she knows that was on QVC that sold her brand for like 1.2 billion. I go to New York. I'm sitting with her and she says, I want you to meet somebody. She picks up the phone, calls the VP of QVC. I fly over there to see him. And in 9 days, do I say how much the contract was? No.
Do it.
In 9 days, I got a $24 million contract. I will never in my life, because that is such an act of kindness.
I'm so happy.
This woman pivoted my business. I went to New York. I got legal help, which I have never had to do for anything. And I said, I want this man out of my life. And I'm going to tell you something I did. When I did the contract with this person, not even the lawyer telling me, I said, I want to add one clause to the contract. And in the clause I put, if you don't sell what I'm selling now, within a 12-month period, I get the option to buy my company back.
Really? So smart.
And because of that one clause, I got my company back to the point where, I mean, I think even the judge was on my side. And he says, I'm not going to let you ruin her company before she gets it back.
Praise God.
And that's where the whole pivot of, I am going to do more web, and I'm going to do television, and I'm going to sell, like, for instance, if I made this shirt for Peace Love World, I would buy maybe 300 pieces.
Right.
If I make it for QVC, I sell 3,000 in 8 minutes. Same quality, same everything.
But you don't have to manufacture it now.
No.
QVC manufactures it.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's the
I
part
will.
that I think people need to
But
understand.
wait, so then he's taking my checks. I still don't have my company back.
Okay.
He calls QVC, asks for my checks. They say, no way, we made a deal with her. I still had to give him half the money. So he was making for 6 months really good money, but I was okay because I was like saving my company, going to the other side. Do you know when my last lease was up? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is a big one.
Okay.
January 2020 was when I closed my last store.
And then the whole world fell apart.
And the whole world shut down.
Wow, God is the greatest.
QVC quadrupled in business. Aviation shut down. QVC and Peace Love World was able to keep everyone in the aviation business in business and us afloat to get through these hard times. So
God, won't he do it? God is so great.
you have no idea the level of appreciation, respect. This is a woman who wants to see the best in every woman. And I experienced that myself.
Thank you.
And if I didn't have that, I don't even know where I would be today.
So tell me about your mission.
So our mission at First Alarm Foundation was really to, create awareness to prevention as well and education, not just for the first responders, but for their families as well. Learning that, there are the resources through the department and through the union, but they're not going to them because of fear of losing their job.
Retribution.
The stigma, the retribution,
Right.
all those things. So First Alarm has, partnered up with other health professionals that can offer other modalities, not just your regular therapy, but the EMDR, the TMS, so many other things that you can go to. There's even this ketamine treatment that you can do. So we want to help, first responders. If they come, we will provide, them with these sessions until they're, well enough to take over themselves, knowing, I think the biggest thing is breaking that stigma, and with First Alarm Family First podcast, we've had that platform where we can go on and have guests and have, first responders go on and tell their stories, and others can hear and say, you know what, I'm not alone.
I'm going through something similar.
Exactly. Clinicians that are culturally competent and do understand that field, be it military, police, law enforcement, and they can talk to them, because it's not the same talking to a clinician who doesn't understand what you do day in and day out.
Most professional athletes and people that are professional in anything, they loved it so much to the point where they didn't give up. They're like, I've had bad coaches, I've had bad teammates, I've had bad circumstances. I've been on bad teams where we lost a lot of games.
Right. I remember those days.
Yeah, but it didn't change my pursuit, because
the work
I
you had
wanted
to do.
Yeah, it was like, I still have to go in there. I was like, one year we won 25 games.
Milwaukee.
Out of 82. So you're talking about losing 50 plus games in that year. It was like, I remember being in the shower thinking, what am I gonna do? And you know what my go-to was?
No,
you
what?
probably don't remember this, but I used to read these Chicken Soup for the Soul
Yes,
books.
they're in the bathroom still.
Yeah, I used to read those on the plane, and that used to kind of pick me up and take me out of, because I was listening to inspiring stories. People just had great stories, and it always reminded me that this is just what you go through to kind of, you're learning, your resolve, your fight, So when you do get to a point of success, whether it's personal or team success, you're built of something. I'm not gonna crumble, so I'm filled with integrity and the ability to stick with it when things go wrong.
So you think the adversity is there for you? Nothing is happening to you. The adversity is happening for you to make you stronger.
Yes, and so it's important for parents to understand, because every parent wants to remove all the adversity out of their child's life.
Yeah.
We didn't eat. We had to have an extra toothpaste before we went to bed at night, or, we
Mayonnaise
made bologna
sandwiches.
sandwiches or mayonnaise sandwiches.
Cereal for dinner.
Yeah, like all those things that we talk about with our kids. So now you hear parents say, I want to take the adversity from my child. And it's so antithetical to them growing. Coaches and mentors want to provide adversity for them so they can learn how to deal with it. It's like simple. When you get a flu shot, what is the flu shot?
Man, I'm not getting a flu shot, but okay.
But what is the flu shot?
It's supposed to mimic what the flu is going to do to your body, so your body can beat the flu.
Yeah,
right.
It's actually, you're injecting the flu in your system so your body can build up antibodies to fight the flu.
Right.
And so that's when we want to learn to be stronger. If you want to learn patience, well, pray for patience or courage. And
God is going to put you in a situation.
He's going to put you in a situation
where
that
you
we
need
have to
patience.
learn patience.
Right.
So that's the thing that parents are hiding from their kids, because they don't want that struggle. Because kids will naturally go to school and deal with adversity, or playing sports, they'll deal with adversity, and it'll be a struggle, like playing time.
Yep. Oh
'Cause
God,
when
that's
I
what
was
everybody
coaching,
complains about.
Yeah, when I was coaching, the kids that didn't get playing time, they blamed me. They were like, I was showing favoritism. I was like, no, I'm playing who I believe works hard and can do the tasks that I'm asking you to do, and I'm watching them practice. And so
do you feel like practice is a place where you audition for playing time?
it's the place. It's the place. Practice, audition, and then don't be a player that only practices during practice. You have to be able to practice on your own. You got to be able to work on things that you need to get better at. But some kids are coming to the gym knowing they can't shoot, and then they expect us to make them better shooters. Parents do that too.
Really?
Parents are like, well, my son's not getting any better. I was like, well, because your son only comes to the gym when we have practice. When we get in the gym, we want to work on our team stuff, but individually work on your dribbling.
Right.
We can only do so much where you're working on dribbling, shooting, passing, running plays, conditioning. Kids have to come with the answers,
Is that the 10,000 hours?
Yeah, because you see the kids, the best kids that we play against, on weekends, they hoop. And they find the best kids in the neighborhood.